Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. We're going to talk about one of the best features of the ESP8266, which is the Wi-Fi capability. We can use it to control some devices wirelessly. But first of all, we need to understand how the Wi-Fi capability works. Basically, our ESP8266 will be connected to a router or an access point. And to do that, we have to provide it with the name of the router or the network and its password. After that, we can use all of the devices that are connected to the same network, like the computer or your smartphone, to control some devices that are connected to the ESP8266. In this video, we're going to use the LED. We'll be able to turn it on and off from a smartphone or the computer. And this mode is called the station mode, in which our board gets connected to the network like any other device, but we could use it as the access point, which means our microcontroller will create its own network and gets connected using the name and the password that we can set from the code so that we can control the LED with the same way. Also, we can combine these two methods to make some cool IoT projects. We can use our ESP32 in station mode and the ESP8266 in access point mode, but that's another topic. First of all, we're going to talk about the access point mode, in which we are going to provide the SID and the password in the code. Luckily, the ESP8266 package comes with a few examples that we can use and understand how things work. To do that, we can go to File, Examples. We have ESP8266 Wi-Fi, like this sketch, which is called the Wi-Fi scanner. This will print all of the Wi-Fi networks that are located around the ESP8266. On top, we have to include this Wi-Fi library. Then under the setup function, we have serial.begin to initialize the serial monitor, so that we can print the available networks and some information. Next, we have this method, Wi-Fi.mode, to set the mode of the board, which is Wi-Fi station mode. The next method is Wi-Fi.disconnect. So in order to get the available networks, you need to be disconnected. And under the loop function, which is called over and over again, we have this Wi-Fi.scan networks, which returns an integer. If it's 0, it means that there is no networks. Otherwise, we can print some useful information like the SSID, which is the name, whether it is encrypted or not. Now, enough me talking about this. Let's give it a try and check the result. You don't have to provide any kind of information because we are scanning the networks. Let's hit the upload button after selecting the board and the port of the USB cable. Once it's done, you have to open up the serial monitor to check this information. So we have 3 networks found, and these 2 are mine. We're going to use this one as the access point, which is called our network, using File, Examples, and let's go under ESP8266 Wi-Fi or Web Server, and we're going to select the first one, Advanced Web Server. In this sketch, our ESP32 microcontroller gets connected to a router or an access point using the name and the password. Then we can access its web server to turn on and off some devices that are connected to the ESP8266. We can use a smartphone or a computer. If you don't know, each device in this network has some kind of IP address that we can use to access each device or communicate between these devices. This IP address is going to be printed on the serial monitor so that we can type it inside a browser using our computer as an example. I highly recommend you to read about this sketch. It's really important. First, we have all of the libraries that we need. Then we have these 2 parameters. The first one is the SID. I'm going to use my own, which is called our network, as well as the password. Then these 2 values are assigned to these variables, the SID and the password. And to create the server, we have this object of type ESP8266 web server. Then we can use it to set some routes, which is like a link, like the IP address /. When you enter that link, you will get an HTML page with some information, and all of that is set under the setup function using server.on, which takes in 2 parameters. The first one is the link, which is the IP address /. Whenever you enter it, the function handle root will be called, which is going to display this HTML page that we can see inside the browser. Anyways, once you set the SID and the password of your network, we can give it a try. Once it's done uploading, we can open up the serial monitor and make sure to select the same baud rate that is used under the setup function, which is 115.200. I'm going to reset the port using the reset key. Now it's trying to connect to the network. And there you go. It is connected, and we have the IP address that we have talked about. Let's copy it using Ctrl+C. As I said at the beginning of the video, you have to be connected to the same network, our network. And you can open up a browser like Microsoft Edge. If you paste the IP address and hit enter, we have this interface that contains some information like a title. We have this timer as well as a graph. It is just for testing purposes. These values are random, but you could replace that with some readings from a sensor like a real-time temperature and the humidity. Now we can move on to the next step. I want to control this LED that is connected to one of the pins using a link from this HTML page. For example, we can add an on button to turn the LED on and an off button to turn it off. And to do that, we can get back to the code. First, we have to modify the HTML page, which is like a programming language that is used to display some kind of page. These are called tags. For example, the image tag is used to display the image, which is this graph. Let's go on top. To add a link, we have a tag that is called A. I'm going to print the text on to turn the LED on. Let's add another one. I'm going to use Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. The text will be off. Also, you have to add the slash at the end of each line, or you will get an error. But at this point, we haven't set a specific link for the on button or the off one. To do that, we have to pass in some kind of parameter, which is called href equals, and in these single quotes, we pass in the link like /on or /turn on. The same thing for the other tag. Let's add href equals and the link /turn off. Now let's check it out. And once you refresh the page, you will see these two links. This one to turn the LED on. If you press it, we are going to go to the IP address /turn on that we have set under the href attribute. The same thing for the off link. The response of the server is file not found because we haven't set the route or what the server will do after we go to this link. But first of all, I want to connect this LED to one of the pins like D5 using this jumper wire. Then we can connect it the positive lead or the anode pin. Finally, we have to get back to the ground through this ohm resistor to protect the LED. And let's start by setting the pin mode by adding a variable const int and call it blue LED equals D5. And we have to write the pin mode under the setup function. This takes the pin number, blue LED, and the output keyword. I've talked about that in the last video. Make sure to check it out. Finally, we can tell our server to turn the LED on when we go to the route /turn on. And the way we achieve that is by writing server.on. So let's add it under here, which takes two parameters. The first one is the link /turn on, and the second value is the method that we're going to call each time we go to this link, which we're going to use to turn the LED on once we click the on link. But there is another option. You could write the code under here by adding these square brackets like this and the parentheses. After that, we have to open and close these curly braces and write the code that we want to execute once we click the link. So we have to call the digital write command to turn it on, which takes the pin, blue LED, and the high keyword that outputs a voltage from that pin. Optionally, we can send something to the client, like the LED is turned on, using server.send. So let's copy it and write the text that we want, like LED is on. Because I'm a little bit lazy, let's copy all of these and add the route for the /turn off. In this case, we're going to use digital write low and send the message LED is off. And that's pretty much it. That's how we can use the Wi-Fi capability to control some devices that are connected to the board. Instead of using this IP address, that's a little bit hard to remember, we can use something that is called mDNS, which is a service that allows you to set a specific name to access our web server. We can write this name, ESP8266, then we add .local, and there you go, we have the same result. If I click on this link, the LED turns on, and we have this response with the same way we can turn it off. So I hope you like this video. If you have any question or comment, make sure to write it under the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one.